Hi guys, welcome back to my new YouTube video. Now in this video I'm going to go back to the world of memes, which I discussed in a previous video I did, Framing of a Thick Bowser, and now I'm going to be diving into surreal memes. Again, I don't know if the people who make these memes think of them as art, but they definitely are. So the surreal memes I'm getting from accounts like Surreal Slaps, the Surreal Vault. Now I'm going to dive into the world of surreal memes a little bit, and then I'm going to get into a specific kind that I really like. On the surreal meme pages, a lot of times you'll see the character of the meme man. And now the meme man is pretty famous. The stonks guy, Panic, or Calm, or Chef. Meme man is often pretending as if he knows exactly what's going on, but I feel like the misspelling of the word is kind of showing how he really doesn't know what he's doing. And I feel like this kind of speaks to when you encounter people in life who say that they know a lot about things, but really they don't know anything about it. So that's kind of like the meme man. Now, if we descend further into the actual surreal meme pages, we see that there's a whole much larger story with the meme man. And the meme man often has a fight with Orange, who's this sort of anthropomorphic orange. And oftentimes Orange and meme man, they have a kind of a fight, right? Orange tricks meme man into eating vegetables, or vegetables as it's spelled, or drinking like Bepsis instead of Conk, or Conk instead of Bepsis, and then meme man gets angry with Orange. And all of this stuff is replete with misspellings. And then another common trope of form changing and going into the void, astral projection, all this type of stuff. All right, now I know, I sound completely crazy. On top of that, the information that I've just given you about these surreal memes, like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. What I want to dive more into are ones like this one that says, I have dreams and desires that I do not fully understand, with a bunch of troglodytic kind of prehistoric bugs crowding around a bag of Doritos. Another one that I really like is this one here, Tell Squidward the Giorno text. And then one more here that I really enjoy, which has meme man in it, and he says, this man dispenses the cubes. Compared to him, you are nothing. Final one, which this one has gone commonly into the mainstream, this kind of weird egg-looking guy with mad legs, and says he travels, he seeks the Parmesan. Again, I know that this all sounds really crazy, but I promise you I'm bringing this to a point, okay? So when you read these memes, and I don't know why, but they just sound really funny and almost kind of poetic, even though they don't make any sense at all. And I know that a lot of people must just think like, oh, this is just a joke and who really cares, and they don't really take the time to dive deep into it. These memes are art and are following in a long tradition of a kind of surrealist and absurdist art. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna journey back to the 1920s, just after World War I. Okay, and the massive destruction and death and intense nationalism and division and everything caused the human race in general to just kind of be like, what is all this? Like, life is absurd, and you got existentialism going around and all that type of stuff. People were really shocked and confused about what had just happened in the world. So as this relates to art, then these artists kind of, that were part of the Dada movement, they kind of started to create art that was absurd, that didn't have a point per se. So anyway, there was a lot of different, the Dadists were kind of multidisciplinary. There were a lot of different artists that were involved in the Dada movement. But for instance, Marcel Duchamp, when he did his famous urinal piece, right? Okay, that was pretty famous. But there was also Dada writers, and one of the Dada writers was a guy named Tristan Tzara. And what Tristan Tzara did was he would cut up text, right? And then he would like put it in a hat or something, and then he would like dump it out, and then in the order that it came out, he would glue it back together, and this would create like a poem, right? A Dada poem. And it would be, it wouldn't make any sense, but when you would do it in this random way, you would kind of create these really beautiful, sometimes sentences that like didn't make any sense, but just something about them was really wonderful. Then there was a painter, this guy called Brian Gisson, something like that's how you say his name. Anyway, he started doing this, but in like a kind of painting type of way. He showed this to William S. Burroughs. And so then William S. Burroughs really took this, what they called the cut-up method, and he really ran with it. What he would do is he would cut up these books like in these lines, and they would rearrange it, go across, down the line, there would be some really beautiful, absurd sentences created. Now, also, there would be sentences that were not that great, right? Or I feel sometimes with surrealist memes as well, is that not all of them are hits. Some of them it's just like, wow, this is really just amazing. After William S. Burroughs, this method was then taken on by Jean-Michel Basquiat when he did his famous Samo graffiti pieces, pin drops like a pungent odor, or buy soup, build a fort, set that on fire. And this again was a kind of absurdist reaction to the world and an intense corporatization of the world at that time in the 80s. Right, okay. So now kind of bring this back to these memes, we can see how, even though again, I don't know if people are making them or taking it seriously or not, but this really is following a long line of absurdist art. And just in the way that these Dada artists were making this art in reaction to the death and destruction that they saw after World War I, these internet meme guys are making this in reaction to the crazy times where we live in. Political upheaval, racial tension, class divide, war, a global pandemic. I mean, we're living in this kind of dystopian future, and it kind of seems like everything is absurd, and therefore these kind of memes and stuff coming out of this, it kind of really only makes sense that we would get here. We would get here with these absurd memes, and they also just provide a nice chuckle as well. So yeah, so basically I think that's pretty much what I have to say about the world of surreal memes. And again, I've really just scratched the surface, but I do feel that these ones that I mentioned before, the Dreams and Desires and DiGiorno Text and He Travels and Seeks the Parmesan, are really great examples of cool absurdist memes and relate back to this long history of absurdist art, Dada art, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so thank you, that's my video.